everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anne and I run this YouTube channel, and I also run the Sussex Handmade Soap Company, which is a small bath and body business based in the southeast of the UK. Today we are using a selection of natural oils and butters, including coconut oil, shea butter, castor oil, olive oil and sweet almond oil, to create a natural soap which we are going to colour black and white using some activated charcoal just here. We are going to give it an in the pot swirl, which is a really nice, simple, easy but very effective swirl to kind of give a real nice distinguish between the black and the white. And we are going to scent it using some patchouli essential oil, and we are going to decorate the top with these little black out of focus, but there we go, these little black soap balls, which I actually created a couple of days ago in advance, ready for this recipe, using a mould. Let me show you. Here we go, a little, just 9 ball mould there, which I got from Brambleberry. Obviously I had to do it twice because I've only got one of these and I needed 16 balls in total. So I used this mould and made 18 of these. Need 16, but it makes 18, a couple of spares. And this soap is going to form a part of our monthly soap release. So if you like what you see or you like the idea of the smell, you can find it on our website here on the last Sunday of the month at 5:30 when we release the soaps that we have made this month for sale at the price of £3 each. Right, let's move on. Let's make some soap. First things first, we are going to melt our solid oils. I have got my lye already cooling. If you want to know how to prepare lye water, check this video here. It will show you exactly what you need to know to make the lye water. I'm not sure which side it is actually, here or here. It'll show you exactly how to prepare your lye water ready for the soap. Right, have I already said the recipes in the description? Can't remember. If I haven't already said it, the recipe today is down in the description, so if you want to make it yourself, find all the amounts down there. Right, let's melt these oils and get soap making. Once the solid oils are melted, we are going in with our liquid oils, which today are olive oil, castor oil and sweet almond oil. And then we are going to pull in our cool lye water and mix the two together. We are going to take the temperature first. We are looking for a temperature of around about 105 Fahrenheit. I don't tend to get too caught up on exact temperatures, anywhere from 100 to 110 to be honest. Today will be fine. The swirl's an easy one. We don't have to be super careful about timings and keeping the batter thin or anything like that. So yeah, anywhere from 100 to 110 will be fine by me. 110.1. It's testing me, isn't it? 110.1. 110.1 will also be fine. Right, let's get the lye water. Lye water just here, going in, and the lye water was actually measuring at 111.7 Fahrenheit. Again, absolutely fine for this recipe. If I was doing a recipe where I didn't want the batter to have the potential to thicken a little bit more quickly, for example, I was doing an intricate swirl or, you know, multiple layers, then I might have cooled that a bit more. But because we're just doing a simple in the pot swirl today, it doesn't matter if it thickens a little bit quicker. Right. Ooh, let's bring it to a trace. And today we are going for a light to medium trace. Right, so what I'm actually going to do is stop there for now. We are at a very light trace, just past emulsion. I'm going to split off a portion of this batter that we are going to colour black for our swirl. But before I do that, nearly forgot, I'm going to add in our patchouli essential oils. It's in 2 pots purely because there was too much volume wise to just go in the one. Right, patchouli, a nice oil, very strong. yeah, it behaves nicely in cold process soap. And if I remember correctly, also doesn't have any declarable allergens in it, which is quite nice and quite a rare thing for essential oils as well. But don't quote me on that because I would need to double check, but I am about 85% sure this patchouli has no declarable labelled allergens. Right, now we're going to split off. I was toying between 1/4 and 1/3, so 600 or 700, because total batter weight is roughly 2,400. Actually, why don't we split it down the middle and we'll go for 700? Because I do find the black in the swirl, if you do it an equal split, it can actually almost overtake the white, and it becomes too much black in the swirl, if you see what I mean. Right, that is 700, so between 1/4 and 1/3 of our total batter weight. We are now going to go in with our activated charcoal to this portion here. I'm going to stir it in using the spatula initially. I wish I could be clean. I wish I could be one of these people that just doesn't make a mess. Everything I do, it's just messy. Kind of learnt to live with it by now. I'm old enough to realise that I'm never gonna be a super tidy person. Super unmessy. There's always going to be mess. Where I am, mess will follow. Right. Yeah, so anyway, working it in with the spatula initially so that it doesn't get too thick. And then I'm going to use the stick blender to bring both portions of batter to a slightly thicker trace. Let's say a light to medium-ish, or thereabouts, trace. Do the white portion first, obviously, because we don't want the black to colour it, and I don't want to have to wash my spatula, wash my blend in between blending, so... So that is our white portion done, and hopefully you can see that okay. It's a medium trace we've got going on there. With the in the pot swirl, what you want is you don't want the batter too thin, because if it is, then when I go in with the black portion, the colours will just muddy together and you won't get a swirl, you'll just get a kind of muddy looking mess. You don't want it too thick, because the opposite end of the spectrum, if it is too thick, you're still not going to get a swirl because the colours just won't swirl together so nicely. So a medium trace I have found tends to work quite well for the in the pot swirls that we do. Right, we will thicken the black portion to a similar level. Yeah, I think that should do. Right, let's get rid of this. So now what we want to do is take our black portion and hold it quite high above the white portion. I'm holding it, well, kind of level with my head. Yeah, just level with my head, but slightly further forward. So I've got it up about there. And we are just going to pour it in 3 splats. So 1 splat, 2 splats, and 3 splats there. I'm going to scrape out the remainder. I'm holding it up high so that it breaks through all the way down to the bottom of the pan, because we don't want it just to tickle the surface. We want it to go all the way down to the base so that our swirl and our black is kind of consistent throughout. Right, let's put that there. Then I'm taking my spatula and just a couple of times, 2-3 times, going just round. You know, just swirling it or doing whatever. And that doesn't look like a lot at the minute, but we're now going to pour it into our mould. And when I pour, again, I hold it up relatively high so it swirls a little bit more as it goes into the mould. I'll just go back and forth like this. Sorry, that is my button scraping on the edge of the table, if you can hear quite an annoying scrapey sound. Oh, last little bits. Right, you can kind of see what I mean when I was saying the black can take over if you use too much of it. Right, let's shake. Yeah, because remember, we used between 1/4 and 1/3 of our batter with black. The rest was all white, but actually there is a huge amount of black visible on the top. And I think if we'd used a 50-50 split, it would have just been too much. So I like to keep it, say, between 1/3 and 1/4 for the more dominant colour, if you like. What I'm going to do now is allow this to firm up a little bit, and then we are going to texture the top, and we are going to place our balls. Oh, yes, we are. So I've given this about 10 minutes to firm up, essentially just enough time for me to have a little bit of a tidy up round here. And now we are going to texture the top firstly. Also, you can see on the mould I have marked out where the soap is going to be cut, so that when it comes to positioning our balls, we are going to get our balls in the correct position, because it is crucially important that you always get your balls in the correct position, isn't it? Yeah, don't want them getting cut through the middle. Ow. Right, back of a spoon, and all I'm doing is pulling up to the centre. And I can already see quite a nice division of black and white in there. Ooh. Yeah, this is thicker than I was anticipating. I say I got a little bit sidetracked with doing some cleaning. And do the same the other side to meet in the middle. And I'm just gonna play about with the centre as well, just smush it around just to make it look a little bit nicer. And then to finish off this soap, all I'm going to do is take my balls and place them on top of the soap. So I just realised that the other camera wasn't filming, so apologies for that. We have got through the texturing, which obviously I have explained. I did also place the majority of our little balls, but I haven't done them all. So I thought now that we've got the other camera working so you can see from overhead, it might make more sense to just run through that bit again. So scratch the other footage and we'll start again. Right, so the balls, the little balls here are being placed, and you can see my lines that I've marked on my mould just here. You can actually see them now that we've got the overhead footage, rather than just, you know, me telling you can see them when you can't. And we are placing carefully our balls in between the lines like so. And they are quite large balls in relation to how much space we have to place them. So we do have to be very careful with our placement. But as long as we are careful, then tomorrow when we chop this up, they should all cut nicely and we shouldn't have any disasters. Just a couple left to place now. So that is our soap. Our little swirled patchouli black and white soap with our little balls on top of it. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll chop this up. Wayne's just this minute come downstairs and I heard him snigger when I said balls. He should have heard some of the other stuff I've been saying, shouldn't he? Right, see you tomorrow to chop this one up. So we are back. It has been 24 hours and we have got our soap loaf. You can already see the edges as well. I've got a really kind of nice mottled look to them. But of course it's not the edges that we are interested in. I'm going to take my potato peeler and I'm just going to clean up the edges before we get into chopping up the actual soap. I like my edges nice and neat, and it's far easier to do it on a full loaf before you chop than on individual bars after you have cut them up. It's just a little bit of a faff to do it. Whew. Right, potato peeler, and you run it down the edge of your soap as many times as you want to until you think your soap bars are looking nice. Turning round and repeating the process on the other side. Right, that'll do me. Let's get rid of the mess and bring in the soap cutter. Right, one loaf of soap, one soap cutter. Let's get it on and see what it looks like on the inside. Now, taking care to position those balls like we talked about yesterday. Is that gonna work? Ooh. Let's go with that. See what happens. Down. There we go. Right. Let's grab a piece from the centre and see how that swirl has turned out. Ooh, yeah, clean up the edges a little. And then that is today's swirl. And I think that is a really nice blend of white and black. And considering we only used, between a quarter and a third of black batter compared to white batter, you can see that the black kind of really is the dominant shade coming out there. And if we'd use 50-50, I think you can see where I'm going with saying that 50% black batter would have been too much, I think, personally. That gorgeous patchouli scent coming through nicely. If you're a fan of patchouli, then yeah, this would be one for you. Just pure patchouli scent in there. And I like the addition of the little balls on top. I think they add just a little extra detail, a little extra something. Shall we check another one? Because swirls are always different, aren't they? Let's grab this one here. And again, another nice swirl. The in the pot swirl really is a simple but effective swirl. Quite an easy one for beginners as well. So it's a nice beginner swirl to start with. And you will always find that you end up with something different. You know, it's never going to be the same swirl twice. Yeah, it's almost a marbled kind of effect in the soap, I think. That's what it looks like to me anyway. Right, so those are today's soaps. I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. Remember, the soaps will be available on our website just here from 5:30 p.m. on the last Sunday of the month. Feel free to head over there if you do fancy getting your hands on this one or one of the other soaps we've made this month. If not, then feel free to just give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more content, and leave a comment if you want to kind of engage with us further. All of the interactions really help the channel and we really appreciate them. That's all for today. I will see you next week and have a lovely, fantastic, brilliant week. See you again.